This portion of the Brooklyn Cafe Show is brought to you by Lorena Anderson, the Energy Boss.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lorena Anderson, your life and energy coach. And one of the questions that I always love to ask people is, how much life is there without energy? None. Absolutely. So what I do is that I teach people how to breathe, come down into their body, how to feel, because that's where our energy field is, and also how to dissolve and release any kind of negative energy that might be stuck in the body mind. So what that means is that, we go through all sorts of different life situations, different difficulties, but it leaves something inside of us. I call it an emotional charge. And that emotional charge sticks with us. It's almost like it glues into place into our bodies. So one of the things that I help teach them is how to dissolve and release that. So no longer it burdens them. It doesn't bring the negative back to them, because we are all energy. We're always creating and attracting. And we create and attract based on our belief systems. If we believe you can, if you believe you can't, you're right. What do you believe? But those beliefs have a frequency to them. And that frequency, if you believe you can, that's a very high frequency. You're feeling great. Yes, I can. You're feeling full of possibility and very youthful, by the way, too. However, if you feel that you can't, the same thing is going to happen physically within your body. And that's a very low frequency. And when that happens, you feel depressed. You feel exhausted. You feel as if no doors are opening for you one way or the other. So what I do is I come in and I kind of ask around, why are you here? What's keeping you up at night? What more do you want from yourself, from life, from anybody? What more do you want? And then we start working first on how well they take a compliment. Now, I know that sounds a little strange, a little different, but it shows when you cannot take a compliment, then you've got a problem receiving. And when you have a problem receiving, you're not allowing the circuitry, the energy circuitry that is always flowing up, in, around us, you're not allowing that to be activated. You're stopping it, you're blocking it. And when that happens, then you're not receiving all the good that is out there that's coming to you. So I usually end up telling them, feel whatever is going on in the body. Feel. When I give you a compliment, what's happening in the body? And it's really, really interesting, because they go, oh, I don't know. I've never thought about it. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to think about it. I want you to feel. Everything that we've ever done in our life is based on a feeling. Everything. We have used our thoughts to get to that feeling. And that is why it's so important to understand how we function in this life based on our energy. So that's one of the reasons why I teach all about energy, how we maneuver in it, how we create and attract. And we had a special guest on, Dr. Rodriguez, and she was talking about what her life passion is now, based on the death of her daughter, and how impactful that was, how difficult it was. However, it opened up her heart into a completely different space, where all of a sudden she was full of giving. She wanted to save others. She wanted to save other families, other teenagers, or even adults from this kind of horrific difficulty. And what I realized is that I had been on the show many times. I was a host for You and Your Doctor. And every time that I brought a doctor in, one of my questions was, what made you go into this field, this line of business? And 9 times out of 10, it was because of something that they had to endure that opened up a door to their career path. So I find that a lot of times what we believe is our adversity is really allowing us to step into the path that we were meant to be in. And how the universe supports that how they give us the strength, how they open the doors for the right people and the right things and the right situations to happen, because that's exactly what's happened for me and Dr. Rodriguez and a lot of the other doctors that I had met, and for a lot of the people that have created foundations in the name of their children or their brothers or their sisters. So to every adversity that we have gone through, I call it a growth opportunity, because that's where we understand our level of power and also how to shift into that level of power, because a lot of times we don't understand how we function in that energy field. So I teach people how to breathe, come down into their body, how to feel again, and how to know that it's safe to do that, and important to do that as well. So I'm Lorena Anderson, your life and energy boss. and any time that you're finding the need to kind of shift that energy, I have a little tagline. And I say, when your shift hits the fan, honey, I'm your plan. So call me, get together with me. My website is ishiftyourenergy.com. My email is la@ishiftyourenergy.com. And please reach out to me if you have any questions whatsoever. My office number is also 954-647-5525. I would love to answer any of your questions. So thank you, Freddie and Dawn, for having me today. I'm so grateful to be here because you've opened up a whole new chapter for me again. And Freddie, I don't know if you realize it or not, but you are definitely a light worker, and you radiate that light on all of us. So thank you so much for having us. And Dawn, you do the same thing. Oh, it's wonderful to be here.
I love your perspective, and I want to ask, because it's not only about shifting your light and you're going about your day and you're in a bad mood and you want to be in a better mood and have brighter light. You're talking about people's, their destiny or the path they're supposed to be taking coming to fruition because of loss. And I think to come to grips with that, as we have Dr. Rodriguez, and I was just at a funeral of my friend's daughter last week, I don't think at that moment you can even possibly think that could be a destiny or that's your calling, because how could anyone think that's a calling? But yet you talk about maybe that's the reason you're put in the situations to help others.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, what's really important that you just said is that you don't think. And that is the most important thing, because I also teach people how to be present in the moment, how to quiet the mind so that they can reconnect to their intuition and allow that to guide them. And that's exactly what happens when they're dealing with a heavy loss. They're not thinking. They're totally in their body, they're feeling. And one of the other important things is that you allow the emotions to flow through you instead of stopping them. Because as soon as you stop them, they become an energy contraction within the body mind. And that energy contraction is going to create and attract, because that's the only way the body has to be able to tell you that there's a wound and that it needs to be healed.
And what if people are reevaluating life at the end of the year? You hate this time of year because
this is why.
It's a new year.
This is why.
People are reevaluating what they liked, what they didn't like, what they want more of. People always want more money. They want better health. Do you take this opportunity and people can call you and say, all right, I'm stuck in this, whatever this is, and help them shift their energy to have a more fulfilling 2026, if that's where we're looking at?
Absolutely. This is the most perfect time to do a recap. Because the recap means that you have the ability, especially now, we just had Helen on, our astrologer, right? And it's a time where we're in retrograde. So we get to take a look to see, okay, what do I need to clean up? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to heal? And I will tell you that forgiveness is one of the biggest things that you can do. And it's not as if you are forgiving necessarily that person or wanting a different behavior or a different change. You're not trying to make your past wrong. What you're doing is that you're letting yourself off that negative cord that had been created. That's what forgiveness is. So this is a great time to say, oh, I forgive myself for yelling at my dog, or I forgive myself for not showing up at the right time, or I forgive myself for just not showing up. And then allowing that forgiveness to be released. And you do that through the breath and through the technique that I teach on how to dissolve and release with your own unconditional love and the universe's unconditional love. Because that's all there is. There is no other energy other than love. We are the ones that are so powerful that we turn it either positive or negative based on our own beliefs. And we go back to the belief system again and the frequency at which we vibrate at.
You know,
So-
when I first met you, the word that comes to mind that you taught me was accountability. Because I was not at a place in what we were doing at the time to take accountability for things that did not work. And they all came from me. And I was afraid to take and say to myself, you got to clean it up. It's okay to ask for help and everything else, but you got to get to know who you are, what you stand for, and what you believe in. And I didn't have that accountability. It was always somebody else's fault. It was always the rain. It was always the light bulb that went out. It wasn't the guy in the mirror. It was me. And since then, and I remember when we had this discussion, I think we were getting into an argument up at iHeart because Lorena was tough and she would tell you the truth. And I went home that night and I says, she's right. And you got to take accountability, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter the outcome. It matters that you get to wherever you got to go. And if you got to make adjustments, you make adjustments. If somebody communicates with you where you don't hear it, it's just like blah, 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 blah. That's on you. It's not dumb because they don't realize they're doing it. Yeah. So I remember, but I don't mean that in a bad sense. They're communicating in their own head.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I understand what's in there, but it's my job.
Welcome to my 58-year-old brain.
But
Thank you.
But I got to tell
Yeah?
you, Dawn, in the 10 years that I've known you, the growth that we've had, I can't find anybody around me who I'd rather have done it with or give accomplishment to that you've done it.
Thank you.
Yes.
You've been here.
Yes.
I mean, you're sitting here in Dawn's house. I mean, think about that.
Bravo.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not an ego guy. That's not what drives me. What drives me is accountability, is learning what she showed me. It's understanding that she didn't mean to hurt me. She meant to explain to me.
I think
And
we
if
try
you-
to teach the kids that too.
Well, this is my message every day. You are the best at what you are. Just believe that. Believe it. I even had Janet do an experiment, and it's working. And she came to me today, and she says, I can't believe this works. Because it is a mindset. It's all about shifting it.
It's more than a mindset. It's a reconnection to your internal intuition, your God self. God talks to you, universe talks to you, whatever you want to call your higher power. It talks to you through your heart. And so often we will take that information and we'll put it up into our head and we'll have a committee meeting with it. Well, it didn't work last time. What makes you think it's going to work this time? Well, I told you should have turned left, but instead you decided to turn right. I mean, we have this whole big conversation going on up inside of our head with the information that our heart gave us. So this whole entire thing, to be able to understand and listen and follow what is going on within your heart, what is speaking to you. Because your heart will never lie to you and your head will. That's one of the reasons why you have that committee meeting going back and forth and back and forth. The other thing too, Freddie, I think way back then, you were trying to serve too many masters and not yourself. You ended up not really being so solid and secure in your own truth and your own identity. And you kept trying to serve everybody else, and which is normal because you were building a business. And we all do that to a certain extent. When we're learning how to build a business, we end up morphing to our customers, to our clients, to try to serve them the best. However, we can't do that anymore because then we're not in our own truth. And when you were talking about who we are and how we're doing, what we're doing, whatever, right? What's so important is to remember that we have behaviors. And those behaviors have been conditioned into us. either through growing up, through our authority figures, through our bosses. Those authority figures have left a mark on who we believe we are because we started that when we were babies. We had no identity when we first came into this world, when we were 2 years old. None whatsoever. It was our authority figures, our parents, that taught us, no, whatever you do, don't put your finger in a light socket, right? But we are conditioned then, and we continue that conditioning so that we morph to other situations for other people. And what we're learning today is how incredibly important it is, how important you are to be your authentic self, to be neutral in your emotions so that nobody can pull you off of your truth, so that you can stand strong because there's nobody else like you, Freddie. Just like there's nobody else like you, Don.
Oh, thank you.
The exact same.
See, even with the noise.
Yep.
It's
Lorena,
true.
well, it is a pleasure and a treat and honor to have you now joining us on Tuesdays. I think this is just what our viewers, our listeners, everyone needs, a positive energy shift and that accountability.
Especially
Because the
this time
committee
of year,
meetings
yeah.
that we have, I don't know if men have the committee meetings,
Oh, we have
but I can tell
crowded
you,
meetings.
I write the agenda, I have the meeting, I even change the conclusions at the end of it.
Yeah,
and
meeting
you know
and
what?
meetings
And
have
I'm never
meetings.
happy with the outcome.
Never.
So I'm really glad that I can maybe change my committee. Maybe Lorena can come to my committee meeting
And you add more people to your meetings.
and have more people.
Other
to my meeting.
personalities.
Exactly.
It's all good.
I bring everyone into the web.
And then some.
But obviously, it's not just me, it's what we do. Do
It
men
is.
do it?
All the time. This time of the year is when you need somebody to help you with this, because this is the
Right.
time of year when you look upon non-accomplishments as opposed to accomplishments. You look at sadness, you look at booze and drugs and everything else, you think it's going to take away
Yeah,
your
survival.
issues. But this is the time of year. This is why we wanted Lorena to do this at this time of year. I think this is the Super Bowl of Super Bowls right now going into December, which is a tricky month.
Oh, what a great
Yes.
show. Lorena, thank you so much. Lorena's going to be with us every Tuesday. More to come as we go through the holiday season with Lorena, your energy shifter, Lorena Anderson, and energy boss. What a great segment. What
And
a
if-
great show.
And if you have questions or you need some help or whatever, make sure that you give Lorena a call. You can call us and we make sure that she gets the message. But today's show, I got to tell you, today's show really hit a mark. It hit a mark because there's a lot going on right now, more so than more so. And this is the perfect timing for this time, for everything you saw here today, including Bob's song, which he thanked you for bringing it to the surface, Alicia. So thank you.
Nice job. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our consistent crew, our new friends and family of the Amp Media Futures Foundation, and to everyone here that has helped, and to all those who have served, and to your families, thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day, which sounds so weird to say Happy Veterans Day, but we honor you today, and we will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.